As someone who spent more than 350 hours playing The Witcher 3, read some of the books, and played 500 hours of Gwent, you can imagine my excitement when I heard that Netflix was planning to adapt my all-time favorite game into a show. After years of googling rumors, news, and ultimately waiting for any sign that it was gonna happen, I almost lost hope. But then, it happened. So, after all that waiting, hyping, and hoping, does it live up to my expectations? My main concern was always gonna be the characters. I knew it was gonna be hard to let go of their video game portrayals. Thankfully, the show managed to get Destiny's trio, Geralt, Yen, and Ciri just right. Oh, and not forgetting our favorite bard, Dandelion, or as he's known in the books and the show, Haskier. Before I continue, this video will contain spoilers. I'll do my best to give away as little as possible, but I'll be referencing stuff that hasn't happened in the show yet. So unless you've played the games, you will be spoiled. Now that I've got that out of the way, let's begin. I was ecstatic when I heard Cavill was taking on the role of Geralt, because having such an amazing talent who's also read the books and played the games is so rare. There's no doubt that Cavill's portrayal drew inspiration from the games too. It felt so satisfying seeing Geralt brought to life, and Cavill does it so well. I dare to say at this point, Cavill is Geralt. But shout out to Doug Cockle for inspiring Cavill's performance. You know Doug is gonna always be the real voice of Geralt, especially for those who've played the games. There were a lot of doubts about how Anya was gonna play Yen. I mean, it is a pivotal role in the series, and she's sort of a newcomer. Fortunately, she carried the role spectacularly. The first season is basically about Yen, her origin story, and her motivations. She's not the Yen I know from the games yet, but given time, I think she will grow to be her. I never really liked Yen in the games. I've always felt that she and Geralt's dynamic is a bit too toxic for my taste. So I'm excited to see if the show can change my mind. Ciri's arc is the most generic out of all three, at least for now. Unless I'm mistaken, her character development arc starts after meeting Geralt and training at Kaer Morhen. I hope she gets her due in Season 2, because we all know who's the real star of the show. Ciri's still young in the show. There's a lot more growing to do before she becomes the Lady of Time and Space, or as we know her in the games, the monster-slicing teleporter. I'm slightly disappointed that Ciri and Geralt didn't meet in Brokilon Forest like they do in the books, but oh well, moving on. Joey Batey plays an amazing Haskier, or Dandelion. I love how they set him up to be a sort of marketing agent for Geralt. Toss a coin to your Witcher was a major success throughout the continent and the show. Good luck with getting that tune out of your head. You know what? I think he even plays the bard better than the games. So more of him in Season 2, please. So the other two characters that stick out are Fringilla and Triss. Fringilla is a totally different character from the games or the books, but I don't really have a problem with the casting choice. I know the show changed her skin color, but I don't see it affecting the story moving forward, so no complaints from me. Now, the only character that's a tad more disappointing was Triss. But hear me out, I don't think her looks are the problem. Think about it. The games really sold her with the hot dress, the red hair, the great personality. Compared to that, the show presented her in rags and dim lighting. I've seen her in some amazing shots online, and with the right wardrobe and makeup, she'd make a great looking Triss, irrelevant of how she's described in the books. So do that in Season 2. Fix her. I enjoyed the music in the show. I know it's like an obvious thing to mention, but one of the reasons the games were so successful was the soundtrack. And I don't mean to tell the professionals how to do their jobs, but it would have been a huge mistake if they decided to go with something like modern hard rock, for example. So here's me appreciating the little things, you know? The Nilfgaardian ballsack armor was heavily criticized by many people, especially Angry Joe. But to be honest, it didn't bother me at all. Sure, it doesn't look like the armor in the games, but the showrunner explained why, and I accept her reasons. And I also think the color grading helped a lot to mask out the ballsackiness. I'm sure they can fix that in the future when Nilfgaard advances and have more funds. To be honest, I have some reservations about how the timeline worked. I remember getting my mind blown when I found out about Westworld's timeline twist. But here I thought it was slightly messy and a bit distracting. However, I love how the timelines converged at the end of the show. But before that, it felt a bit jarring to watch, or maybe it felt awkward because I've read the books and my expectations were off. But don't worry, the season's plot holds up, despite the messy timeline. It is The Witcher, after all. Alright, so here's my final take. My biggest fear was that this was gonna be a cosplay fiasco like the live-action Full Metal Alchemist movie. I had faith, but I mean, they really baited us with the initial screen test, huh? We all knew the show wasn't actually gonna look like that, right? But it's a big relief to say that out of the many things that can go wrong with adaptations, Netflix The Witcher commits very few of them. The show isn't a direct prequel to the games, and it doesn't follow the books completely, but for what it's worth, it's a damn good show. That's all I have for this video. As you can see, I'm not an expert on cinematic reviews, TV show reviews, or what you call this, but I really wanted to share my thoughts and excitement, and I love that I'm not the only person among my friends who's talking about The Witcher. So what did you think of the show? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.